you need an ability to see yourself as others see you, which I don't think Liz Truss had got. I think you also need an ability to shake that off. Gordon Brown had a pretty grim time as Prime Minister, having been a rather brilliant Chancellor. And we used to say at the time, and he hated being interviewed by people like me. He used to get incredibly grumpy about the questions and get angry, and he'd try and walk away from the interview even though he was still attached to his lapel mic. And you'd say, Prime Minister, hold on. And he'd look even more angry with you. You'd say, no, you're going to garrote yourself or you're going to pull over the camera. So you're trying to help him out. And we used to say to each other, doesn't he realise how bad it is? And I realised that the actual problem was the reverse. He spent his life realising how bad it was, and his inability to shake that off. And I think some football managers have that. So that every day, and particularly at night, I think he was beating himself up. And friends of mine who work for him or were ministers would say they get emails from him at 4 a.m. His problem wasn't that he didn't see how people saw him. He was obsessed with how people saw him and couldn't forgive himself for not being good enough. And he wasn't worried about that as Chancellor. And I think now he's a much happier man as a result. I think the really successful leaders, who obviously have a bit of the actor in them, whether it's a Blair or a Cameron to a certain extent, a Thatcher, can just live with the fact that people don't like them very much and that they make mistakes and they just think, okay, tomorrow's another day. They can still sleep.